Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Um, I keep talking about the reasons why I do my show. It's not really for Facebook likes. It's not really for popularity. It's because I truly feel like I have something to say. I talk about how sensational the news is portrayed today, and that aggravates the shit out of me. And this not really being my area of expertise, a lot of times I'm walking a thin line, a chalk line or a tightrope even, and I'm trying to decide what's relevant and how far I should push the envelope. I do this for some people that look to me every week, some people that encourage me, some people that look out for me and ask me how I'm feeling and how I'm doing. I do it for people like Gwen. I do it for people like Audrey. I do it for people like Cynthia. I do it for some of the new people. I do it for people like Sandra. I do it for people like Liza, who sent me a text message before I did my show asking how was I feeling and was I going to be able to get through the show, because these people know that I feel what I feel. I feel like I was derelict in doing my show last night, and I feel like I should redo my show the way I intended to do my show, but I tried to inject some humor in a solemn situation, and I omitted some things for time content. And by doing so, I really felt like it did a disservice. I was getting up headed to the gym this morning, and the first thing I woke up to was um, a message from Audrey. Audrey's one of my friends. Me and this lady, we're like kindred spirits. She's a writer. She feels deeply, and what she said to me was, "You were right." She always say "you were right," but she's always said that I'm not into politics. So just being able to energize and get people like that engaged means a lot to me. I try not to just write for political junkies. Um, I said 45 actually cured me being a political junkie. So this morning I spoke from the heart because last night I got a text message a direct message from Cynthia Marie, and she says, "I felt like you held back." And I didn't respond to her last night, but I did respond to her this morning because people actually pay attention. And it's not just the names that I call, because I apologize. I know that I omitted so many people that tune in week in and week out to watch my show. I know there's some people I went to high school with, and they say, "Wow, this is crazy that this was the same guy who's cutting up in class and making jokes and has this sick sense of humor and is a musician and blah, 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 blah." And they've seen my actual evolution. And then I know there are other people that I went to school with or church with who won't tune into my show for some of those very same reasons. But then there are people that I don't even know that are signing up to my YouTube channel and they're making comments and they're sending me messages and they're sending me Facebook requests. And then there are those other people, those flies on the walls, those people that lurk and they listen to what I say, and somehow it makes it into their shows. What I wanted to say last night that I didn't say was the reason I feel a need for the invocation of the 25th Amendment. This man has the nuclear codes, and he has this intimate relationship with Russia. So why knowing his personality is one that when I call him Trumpo Thin-Skin for a reason, because anytime he feels like his feelings are hurt, he lashes out like a 5-year-old child. So what is to keep us from believing that he won't sell? Because his only motivations is attention and money. So him perpetuating this lie that this election was stolen from him, and him having the top secrets, the nuclear codes, information on where our nukes are in our arsenals, in our silos, and intimate plans about troop developments and deployments and all of that was to keep him from selling this information to Russia and China and North Korea. He supposedly has this intimate relationship with Kim Jong-un. So yes, last night I was really angry, and I tried to mask that anger. I tried to balance that. I believe that when you speak, sometimes you can speak things into existence. So I tried to hold back on those things that I thought, if I said them and I spoke them into existence, think about all of those predictions that I made, and they came true. I feel somewhat responsible for those things, even though they are beyond my control. So if he was not thinking of some of these things and I spoke it and somebody heard it and it trickled down to his ears and he decided, fuck it, they're about to impeach me. They're about to take the one thing that's meant the most to me in my lifetime, having this camera and being able to make money by pimping the presidency. And if he wasn't thinking it, now he is thinking it. So I walked the fine line of what to say and taking the responsibility for what I say. One of the problems that I have with CNN is they give him a voice, they give him a platform at times. And I said in doing this, I wanted to do it the Walter Cronkite way. I wanted to give just the facts. But I have to dress it up with something that makes people tune in. I don't want to sensationalize all of what's going on because I think there's too much of that. And that's my biggest drawback with CNN. They sensationalize his antics. They give it life. And I did not want to do that. But when I woke up and I'm pondering what Cynthia Marie said, and I'm pondering the message that Audrey sent to me, and basically it said something that I've been saying and the FBI has been saying and now Homeland Security is saying. He's been amassing this silent army for 4 years now. So I've been dropping hints and leaving little breadcrumbs that says, save your ammo. Suddenly, when black people start exercising their right to bear arms, they'll sell us the guns, but the guns are nothing without the bullets. So suddenly, there's this shortage of ammo when we start to arm ourselves so that we can defend ourselves. Because I'm not the only one. I always say the thing about genius is not a 170 IQ. The thing about genius is observing other people, avoiding making the mistakes that others make. The thing about being a genius is developing others' ideas to make a better mousetrap or smoother rolling wheel. So I observe everything. Nothing gets past me. And I digest it. And I regurgitate it. And then I decide how I'm going to decipher it because I feel a responsibility to do so. So this is where I am, people. I apologize. I really feel like I let you down because I let myself down. I really feel like I held back so much of my message. I watered it down so much. Not with the liquor that I drank. All I did that for was to just numb the agitation that was brewing inside of me. I try to hold back and not go off the rails. I try not to sensationalize it. I try to give you this stuff devoid of too much emotion because I think that in itself sensationalizes the message. And it takes something from the content of the message. I don't want to give you ratchet ghetto news. I want to give you something, my analyses of what's happening. I want to decipher what's happening out there and make it simplistic to everyday people. Because I've been told that I'm too verbose and you use these words and blah, 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 blah. I understand that. But this is a gift. And I feel compelled to do what I do. Like I said, one day I won't be here anymore. So my legacy to my children, my children's children, and their children's children is to be able to rest in peace saying that I tried to make this world a better place. I tried to leave it better than I found it because that's something that my mother and my father taught me. That's something that my family instilled upon me. Being the youngest grandchild and the youngest cousin, I had so many people that contributed to my development. And when I don't use those talents, they look at me and they shake their heads. So I'm not trying to be more than anybody. I'm just trying to do what I feel I need to do. And when a message is delivered to me, I try to give it to you. I may wind up redoing my show. I don't know yet. But I had to get that off my chest. This man needs to be out of there today. And if the Republicans, if Pence is not going to try to invoke the 25th Amendment because they're somehow trying to bring those hate mongers, those white supremacists, those people, those thousands and millions of people that Trump has given life to simply because they're votes, simply because they are a constituency. Why not educate them and teach them how to be true Americans? One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Why not practice that? Why not teach them and bring them along instead of wallowing in the muck with them? That muck called hate. We have to do something to dispel this hate. So I don't mean to preach. I may do this over. I may redo my podcast from last night because I did you a disservice. But I wanted you to know that the main message I want you to remember when we talk about police reform, and this is a double-edged sword, because the fifth person to die is a Capitol Hill police by the name of Brian Sicknick. So this is going to make the message all the harder to digest. But my message is simple. When we talk about police reform, What if you treat a black man or a black woman the same way you treated those white combatant terrorists on Capitol Hill? Then there would be no need for us saying that Black Lives Matter, because you would be demonstrating that our lives are just as precious as those enemy combatants who's trying to overthrow this government in a failed coup attempt. Call it for what it is. You want to call it an insurrection. You want to water the shit down. Call it for what it is. These people were there to overthrow the government. This is not Cuba. This is not Nicaragua. This is not Baghdad. This is not Libya. This is not Mogadishu. And all of these places that we send troops. All of these places that I was threatened to be sent to as a U.S. Marine in the name of democracy. Folks, I'm pissed. I'm pissed to the utmost of pissosity. Since last night, I have not been able to rest. I tossed and I turned with this shit. So all of those people that tune into my show, I apologize. All of those people that have not tuned into the show, forget who the messenger is and tune in. You just might like what you hear. And like that idiot used to say, if you're not careful, you might learn something. You guys have a good morning. And if you believe in something, whoever you pray to, your God, your Allah, your Yahweh, your Buddha, your whatever, say a prayer, because this shit is not over and it's not going to be pretty. I'm out.